Well, now let's talk commercial real estate. WeWork owes landlords all over the country millions of dollars in leases and termination fees. In just New York, they owe about $49 million. More on the impact of the company's bankruptcy on landlords. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance reporter Dani Romero for more of this. So more troubles for WeWork already.
Rochelle, the shoe has dropped in the commercial real estate sector. Now with WeWork's bankruptcy filing this week, it really gives us a glimpse at how rising rates and the stalled return to work environment has really added turbulence to the office space sector. WeWork has over 600 locations worldwide, and WeWork CEO David Tolley said in court that the company's real estate advisor is renegotiating office leases with over 400 landlords. And this process started back in 2022. WeWork renegotiated some of its leases, but that did little to ease the cash crunch. Remember, lease payments consume 75% of WeWork's revenue in the second quarter of this year. The big picture here is the loss of WeWork really will increase vacancies. It might even lower rent for tenants, but that means less cash for landlords to pay their debt payments in this high interest rate environment. A worst case scenario would also be that it may even prompt landlords to default on some of their loans and mortgages, and would affect the banking system more broadly, and also local and city tax revenues.
Just to draw attention to the elephant in the room here, there's some applause on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. A number of uniformed officers were proceeding down there, but it seems to have subsided now. But Dani, I want to ask you about what cities are really most effective here. I walk around New York, I still see WeWork signs in front of buildings, and some of them really don't have that much activity in them.
Offices in San Francisco, New York, and Boston are likely going to be impacted with WeWork's bankruptcy. That's what experts say. CoStar said that around 42% of WeWork's occupancies are actually in those cities. And so WeWork has plans to close about 35% of its footprints in those markets. Now, in New York City, like you pointed out, Jared, WeWork has a lot of Class B buildings. They have a lot of exposure. And so WeWork's rent in those buildings were actually a lot higher than the other tenants in those buildings. So landlords won't be able to really easily recoup some of that money. But it's really important to highlight that WeWork's bankruptcy will impact local governments, especially when it comes to their budgets. A lot of local cities rely on commercial property tax revenue, and so that will really hinder some of the budget side. And for example, in New York City, 21% of the tax revenue, office properties make up 21% of the tax revenue.
All right, thank you for that. Yahoo Finance reporter Dani Romero.